back to their burrows. A western meadowlark, perched under a shell-leafed pestamon that sprouts above the prairie grasses, trills its rich flute-like melody. This is the meadowlark. The floor of Burns Basin lies flat and green between the steeply eroded flanks of its embracing walls. Watered by tributaries of the White River and in frequent rains, the basin floor is covered predominantly by little blue stem and blue grama grasses. It's covered in grasses. The spherical growths on these plants are galls, formed when an insect larva hatches within the plant's tissues. The galls at top, resembling prickly flutes, have supplanted some of the leaves on a wild rose. Below, a gall balloons from a dead goldenrod stem. See? These red, they're red, and this is gray in this picture. A 25 to 30-year-old prickly pear cactus, whose lengthy branching suggests age, spreads out on a clay embankment. You know all the prickly pear cactuses? A lush stand of tall prairie grass trembles under a passing gust of wind. The dominant growth in the area pictured here is common needle and thread grasses, the most abundant species found in the Badlands prairie. See all the grasses? A turbulent spring thunderstorm explodes across the prairie, drenching the grass with water that is primary source of its nourishment. The Badlands area receives about half annual rainfall in the period of April through June, much of it in sporadic thunder showers like this one. Ooh, look at this bad storm. Pioneers of the prairie, sunflowers take hold on badly eroded land where the grass has died. Decomposing sunflowers help rebuild the land with fresh humus, which grass can grow again. The roots of the white blossom butt-yield bindweed help to anchor prairie soil. With a stretch of prairie nears maturity, scarlet globe mallow blooms. Turning yellow as it begins to ripen, common needle and thread grass bows under the weight of its seed. Needle and thread does its growing during the cool spring season and takes on the autumnal appearance in June. Oh, the grass is turning yellow. Curly buffalo grass and spear-like blue grama intertwine near the ground. Often found together, they are the most abundant short grasses in the so-called mixed grass prairie and can survive even in times of prolonged drought. See that? A needle and thread relative called green needle grass in characteristic bunches. Tall sandreed grass reaches up from sandy soil, which its dense roots help to stabilize. Rishy squirrel-tailed grass, bowed over with golden seeds, stands against the backdrop of Badlands sedimentary rock. Its short tufted grass prospers even in severely eroded soil. See? Short grasses carpet the gentle pine-dotted slopes of an upland prairie in the cooler elevations of the approaches to the Black Hills. Where water collects in the shallow valleys, the grasses thrive, enlivening the landscape with deep splashes of dark, healthy green. These are the pines over there, with all these green hills. Ripe prairie asters after their dry, fluffy autumn fruit to the wind, which will carry the countless seeds to new growing grounds. Root flowers decorate a prickly pear cactus. A banquet of prairie violets mingles with yellow, whose fern-like stems are not yet blooming. Dainty pink blossoms adorn a meadow rose. A gumbo lily or evening primrose thrives in dry clay, drawing water from deep tap roots. An autumn noon glows over a panorama. An upland prairie, ponderosa pines like those scattered across this landscape become more and more abundant as the altitude of the prairie increases. At 4,000 feet, grasses give way to trees and prairie becomes woodland. See, from prairie to woodland. The wintry face of the Badlands as well looms over the prairie, where snow coconuts account for less than 25% of the area's precipitation. Look at all the mountains. Sioux hunters, one armed with a lance